Ironman journey is actually very inspiring, first of all, but also terrifying at the same time. I mean, I couldn't imagine the early, brutal morning bike sessions when the duvet is calling your name, right? How do you do it? And were there any moments that you just thought, I can't do it anymore?
This journey obviously didn't start overnight. It wasn't a 5-minute passion project, so to speak. And it takes a tribe and a certain mentality to get it to the point where you feel confident enough to sign up for an Ironman or Ironman 17.3, which is a half Ironman to that effect. So, by way of a bit of background, me and my group of friends, like-minded friends, we started doing some local triathlons. It started maybe 5-6 years ago during COVID, or maybe just before that. A bit of running, a bit of cycling. We were younger then, so we would wake up at 4 or even 3:30 to cycle. Started with that to avoid the traffic and the sun. And the roads are safer as well. Over time, it's become almost second nature that this discipline kicks in. And at that point, it sounds cliche, but it's really about discipline more than motivation. No one's motivated to get up at that time. There's no social media to tell the world that, hey, I'm up at 4:30, you know.
When you do it enough for a long period of time, it gradually became some sort of muscle memory, right? Do you feel like if I don't do it, I won't feel comfortable today?
It is as well, and I think there's some form of a routine that I think will help anyone that wants to embark on this journey by building it in as well. So to give you an example, for the most intense part of the training, before a race, my typical day would be getting up at say 5. I'll be on a stationary bike trainer for 90 minutes to 6:30. Then we'll drop the kids in school. I'll hit to the office by 7:15, and then I'll go for a run after that to 8:15, another hour, getting about 8 to 10 kilometers. Have a shower, start work at 8:30, 8:45, and then we'll try to end work promptly at about in the evening. Go back, tutor the kids, and then hit the pool for a quick swim as well. So that's an example of how it goes. So it helps to have children of a school-going age. So because it gives you an incentive, I've got to wake up, either it's 6:15 or 5.
Yeah.
Obviously, every minute in the morning makes a huge difference, but there's something for me to look forward to, as in I'm not going to laze in bed till 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I've got to wake up early anyway. I've got to work, I've got to exercise, I've got to drop the kids anyway, that's non-negotiable. So it makes me more intentional with the evening before.
Okay, so now we get ourselves out of bed every day through discipline and motivation and family routine. Now we're actually in the race, right? And I love the idea where you say you focus on the next small things, be it the next stroke, the next step, the next paddle instead of the overwhelming whole. But have there been any moments where you just like maybe during the race or during training and you couldn't help but think, I still got how many miles left? Tell us more about those moments.
So that's a great question. I'm just a little trivia about myself. I grew up asthmatic. I'm severely flat-footed. So running was never meant to be my forte or something that I would enjoy. My feet hurt. So it's always very daunting to start thinking about, hey, I've got to swim 2 kilometers in the ocean and then get up. I've got a 90-kilometer bike ride in the 40-degree heat up and down with elevation, and then run a half marathon in that brutal heat. I remember for Cebu, it's a one loop out and back, so you sort of know that it's 1 kilometer swim and then back. So as you go along, as you turn around, psychologically half is done. You look at your watch, it's half an hour in, so you kind of know where you're at. You don't think of how tired you are, but hey, it's this much down, how much left to check off the box. Yeah, so that's one way of doing it. On the bike itself, I remember specifically for the Cebu Ironman 17.3, it was 6 laps of 15 kilometers up and down this series of bridges. So every time you do it, mentally as well, you start to remember which aid stations are along the way, because you pick up your gels and your water refills and all that along the way. So you kind of just check it off that way, instead of thinking, hey, I've got like 84 kilometers more, 74, 64. That sounds daunting, but if you look at it as there are 6 stations, I've done 1, I've done 2, I've done 3, hey, I'm halfway done, 45 kilometers, and that's literally half of the Ironman race gone. because you finish the swim and you finish half the bike.
If you don't give up, you will get there.
Yeah, I think, and this, you're absolutely right. And I think it also translates to how you approach work as well. Like if you're doing a project, it's huge, right? To the completion date, you got to go through the different stages. For law specifically, your due diligence, your very basic perfunctory stuff, you need to get through those things, and then before you get to negotiations, first, second, third, fourth turn of the draft, before you then finalize it, get it for your own internal board approvals, putting out an executive summary. So everything is broken down into stages, and then you look at it from one stage to another stage. Like even the IPO, which my company just did a spin-off IPO a couple of months back. The idea of an IPO is always very daunting when you first start half a year ago, 1 year ago, or even 1.5 years ago. Like, wow, from today to the day that we're going to hit the gong on the stock exchange and get listed, it's a long process. But is it tedious? Obviously it is, but it's not that daunting. If you break it down, you have like a project timeline, like a Gantt chart for project management and stuff.
I love that you brought up work, because you wrote something really powerful on LinkedIn about being simply a triathlete on race day, not a general counsel. And I think that's powerful, because I think a lot of people really struggle to give themselves permission to be something outside of their professional identity. Has there been any moment where you also encountered that existential angst? What am I doing? I have a family, I'm a lawyer, I'm not supposed to be here.
So I think what I wrote was, when you're racing, you take all the ego apart. You could be racing with your friend who's a fellow lawyer. You could be somebody who's never gone to high school, whatever it is. All your egos put apart, right? You just wish your fellow competitors well, to be safe, and and your ego is torn apart, and you're just thinking, hey, the only thing that stays on my mind is being a father, obviously, because to your children, you're always a dad. You want to go home safe, you want to do your kids proud. You think of them when the going gets tough. But I don't think, I'm a general counsel, so I've got to persevere. That never came across my mind. But I've got stickers of my daughter's names on my bicycle, so when I'm tired, when I look beyond a certain angle, I see their names, and it motivates me that way. So that's the part that I think is very human about even the most difficult endurance sports.
Yeah, I think that's a very great perspective. And I also love that you said the work is a means to an end, and the end is life itself. Saying life is the end goal is one thing, but being a general counsel is a totally other different things. It's always easier said than done.
What I meant was that it gives you more purpose as to recognizing that, hey, work is necessary. I mean, unless you're born a prince or a king, everybody has to do some form of work. You have to, feed yourself, feed your family. But there's more to that than just, trying to make the most money at the expense of other things. Can give you happiness. That's what I mean. That's what I was trying to say as well. So working hard, working well, getting a great paying job makes you happy. But there are other ways to be happy as well. And I'm grateful for my work that allows me the autonomy, both financial and in terms of time, to manage what I can do now. So that perspective is always kept in my mind. So I don't take it for granted. That's fine. I know where my priorities are. But I think if you think of it as, hey, I'm working hard, I'm tired at work, but it's helping me, giving me a better life, so that I can afford a nicer bicycle, for example. And then, it gives more meaning to why I work, so that I can afford a better pair of shoes, to run a more comfortable marathon, for example. So I think if you put it all together, that's what I was trying to say. When you put it all together, then you see how things actually interplay, and they are not mutually exclusive. Like I can only have my hobby, or I can only work. I think it doesn't work that way. So that's the point I was trying to make.
When's your next race?
So ironically, after August, when I came back from Cebu, Philippines, I kind of just kind of let go, because I was so disciplined up to that point.
Burn out from
ironically, yes, sort of burn out from Ironman in a way. So my next race will actually be in the middle of March next year. Actually, it's a local triathlon again.
In Singapore.
In Singapore, yeah. So I'm defending my podium position. So I'm gonna, I sat down and I worked out my coaching plan. I think about 16 weeks, so probably just start the base training in a couple of weeks' time. So I got to give myself a break as well.